Hello guys and welcome to Buzz Hub. In this video, I'll be talking about the Star Life series Jhanak. I'll be talking about how Ashi gives birth, how the baby got stolen and who stole the baby. Before you continue, make sure to click on the subscribe button and also turn on the bell icon. Shristi tells Vinayak that it's fortunate they arrived on time since, aside from Jhanak, no one from the Basu family showed up. Jhanak explains that the Basu family couldn't attend because it's Choton and Mrinalini's reception today. Shristi expresses that Shub and Tanuja should have at least come. Jhanak reassures her that having Shristi there is enough. Shristi, ever the mother, emphasizes that she is Ashi's mother and naturally she will be there. She adds she is also Janak's mother, to which Jhanak points out that Shristi took quite some time to accept that reality. Vinayak, changing the subject, says he will call Anirudh once he gets confirmation about Ashi's operation. Jhanak assures him Ashi is stable and that the operation will take place today. She urges Vinayak and Shristi to go inside and sit. Choton asks Anirudh about Ashi's condition and Anirudh reassures him that Ashi is stable. Choton insists he will stay with Anirudh after finishing the rituals. Mrinalini, with a concerned tone, asks if Ashi is alone in the hospital. Anirudh informs her that Jhanak is already there. Choton, trying to be optimistic, assures Anirudh that everything will be fine. Back at home, Kajol worries about Jhimli's well-being. Lannon mentions that Jhimli's phone is off and even the police can't seem to do anything. Apu laments how much she misses Jhimli and is sure Jhimli misses them too. In another scene, Jhimli questions Anildo about whether the car they are in is really his. He tries to convince her, but Jhimli is skeptical. She calls him out for hiding the fact that he is a mechanic, not a software engineer. Anildo, stuck in his life, stops the car to make a phone call, clearly trying to avoid her questions. Shub tells Anirudh that he will go to the hospital tomorrow. Anirudh, sounding wary, responds that by then everything will be over. Mrinalini adds that Shub and Tanuja should have been there to support Ashi. Tanuja, not wanting to engage, tells Mrinalini not to meddle. Mrinalini insists that as part of the family, she has every right to speak her mind. She tells Anirudh to eat and rest, but he is too exhausted, wanting only rest. When Shub inquires about who is with Ashi, Bipasha informs him that Jhanak is with her. Mrinalini remarks that Jhanak must really care for Ashi, which is why she went to the hospital. Bipasha, however, scolds Mrinalini for giving unsolicited opinions. She claims Jhanak is just trying to get closer to Anirudh and advises them to stop supporting Jhanak. Anirudh tells Bipasha to stop with the unnecessary comments, asserting that he knows exactly what kind of person Jhanak is. Shub, always stirring the pot, asks if Jhanak will leave the house after Ashi gives birth. Tanuja points out that Jhanak has already said as much. Choton, ever the neutral party, offers that his guests can stay in his house if needed. Mrinalini chimes in that Jhanak can stay if she wants. Anirudh, however, quickly puts an end to the discussion by saying Jhanak won't stay and walks off. Apu spots Jhimli and the family rushes to her side, calling her name. Jhimli notices them too. Anildo, seemingly oblivious, continues driving. Apu instructs the driver to follow the car, and Lanon tells Kajol to call the police. Jhimli, still confused, asks Anudo why he is driving so fast. He reminds her that she stole money, and if she gets caught, she will end up in trouble. Kajol calls the police inspector, informing him of the situation. Anudo tries to convince Jhimli to trust him and listen to his clients, but Lanon and Apu watch closely, growing more suspicious. Shristi tells Vinayak that she should have told him the truth sooner. She admits she can't change the past, but she is willing to change herself. Vinayak, always a realist, tells her she must take responsibility for Jhanak's career as well. She agrees, but points out that Jhanak won't let her help. He encourages her to try convincing Jhanak and tells her he will talk to Jhanak himself. Shristi thanks him for giving her a place in the family again, and Vinayak, though somewhat distant, acknowledges that he can't forget everything that has happened. Just then, he notices a call from Busan for Shristi and becomes angry. Later, Daddy anxiously wonders why they haven't received any updates from the hospital. Aunt, sensing the tension, asks where Mrinanini is. Tanuja informs Aunt that Mrinanini went to her room to rest. Aunt then questions what Jhanak is doing at the hospital, and Angela explains that Jhanak is Ashi's sister. At the hospital, the doctor tells Nurse Sunita that the operation will begin now. She asks whether Ashi's family is there, and Nurse Sunita responds affirmatively. The nurse approaches Ashi's husband and tells him everything will be handled. Meanwhile, Ashi and the baby are both in critical condition. Eventually, Ashi gives birth and the nurse takes the baby away, only to swap it with another baby. Sunita wakes Jhanak up. She inquires about Ashi's family, leading Jhanak to remind her that she was supposed to inform them. Sunita lies, denying any such promise. She questions the whereabouts of Ashi's husband before revealing that Ashi has given birth, but the baby is in critical condition. Jhanak demands to know why Ashi's family has not been informed, but Sunita blames Jhanak instead. Angela asks Bablu if Ashi is fine. Tanuja arrives and asks Anjana for tea. Bablu suggests she make it herself, prompting Tanuja to complain about returning to the kitchen. Angela insists it's fine. Shub joins and also asks for tea. Tanuja grumbles about Bablu taunting her, leading to a discussion about family dynamics. Anjana remarks that Anirudh treated her like a mother, unlike Lahal. Bablu expresses his disappointment in Lahal. Shub, bewildered, insists he only asked for tea. Bablu argues that Angela is no longer obligated to work like a servant, and Shub tells Anjana to stop working altogether. Mrinanini enters as Shub asks if Shotan is still resting. She retorts that Shub is not the only one entitled to rest and defends Shotan's actions. Shotan arrives, but Mrinanini assures him she can handle matters herself. She volunteers to make tea, but Bipasha insists on doing it per Shub's instructions, though only for certain people. Anjana steps in to prepare tea for everyone, but Mrinanini declares that household chores will now be divided among the 3 daughters-in-law, including Bipasha. At the hospital, Jhanak demands to know where Ashi and the baby are. Sunita informs her that Ashi is in the operating room. Jhanak warns Sunita of severe consequences if anything happens to Ashi or the baby. She insists on seeing them, but Sunita denies her entry and orders her to inform Ashi's family. Determined to expose Sunita's lies, Jhanak calls Anirudh, informing him of Ashi's critical condition. Anirudh promises to reach the hospital immediately and shares the news with his family. Everyone rushes to leave, except for Anjana and Mrinalini. Meanwhile, Anirudh asks Jhimli to assist him in his business. She agrees but soon feels uneasy. He instructs her to wait in the waiting room while he meets a client. Raju escorts her there. Anirudh brings the client in but is soon interrupted by Raju whispering something to him. Anirudh tells Jhimli she must go to Delhi. As he steps away, two men claiming to be customers approach. Anirudh takes them to Jhimli and orders her to comply with his instructions. The men reveal themselves as police officers and draw their guns. Anirudh insists Jhimli is his wife, but she pleads for help, accusing him of attempting to sell her. The police arrest Anirudh. Nanon, Apu and Kajol arrive, and Jhimli tearfully embraces Nanon, apologizing to everyone. At the hospital, Jhanak asks a nurse about Ashi's baby. The nurse states that the baby is not in the nursery. Jhanak immediately grows suspicious of Sunita and questions what is being concealed. A patient's husband thanks Sunita, arousing Janak's curiosity. She questions why he is expressing gratitude to Sunita instead of the doctor. He briefly acknowledges the nurse assistant before departing. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video, click on the subscribe button and also turn on the notification bell for more upcoming twist videos on the Star Life series Jhanak.